Hi, my name is Sean Mabry. I'm a writer, and today I wanted to talk about your two options as a writer. And there are two. Everything I'm about to describe here comes from many years of reading the stories of other writers, reading not just the stories that they've written, but also the stories of their lives and their careers. This comes from watching other writers at many different stages of their careers, firsthand, making their mistakes, having their successes, and of course this comes from me following my own path and sharing the wisdom I've learned along the way. There are two paths that you can follow as a writer if you are serious. I'm not talking about people who write as a hobby here. I'm talking about writers who want to have writing be a central piece of their lives. If you want that, if you want writing to be a central part of your life, if you want to be able to live off of your writing as your primary source of income, if you want to be able to do professional writing work of any caliber, this is who I'm talking about right now. And there are two paths. The first path is to go it alone. If you're going to go down this route, Cormac McCarthy is an example of an author who went down this road and succeeded. You have to be ready to only write. You will just write for a decade plus. In fact, more likely than not, 2 to 3 decades, maybe even 4. You will only write. You will share your writing with friends, maybe take it to writers groups, but mostly it's just going to be you writing, rereading your own work, and revising until through sheer force of will and through sheer force of repetition you get it right. And then the opportunities start opening up. Then you can land a book deal or an agent or get people to actually want to buy your books if you are self-publishing. Whatever your version of the path is, it's going to take that time if you're going alone. Now, option 2, and one more thing I should really mention about option 1, you really can only write. You can only write. If you have any inkling that you want to have, a busy social life, or you want to be the life of the party, or you want to explore other career options in the meantime, you can't take option 1, because option 1, you're going to need every second of your day dedicated to writing, and of course reading the masters and learning from them at a distance. Because quite simply, if you try to go halfway down option 1, you aren't going to make it. Not in this human lifetime. No, you won't. Now, option 2. Option 2 actually will allow you to have, like I said, a social life. It'll allow you to make more money in the short term. It'll allow you to have more flexibility in your schedule, be able to have more of a social life. Go out to parties and bars and whatever else you want to do. But here's the thing. With option 2, you have to seek out mentors, and you have to be extremely humble. You have to be ready to listen to an author or editor who's willing to help you, who has been down the path already and who knows what they're talking about, tell you exactly what's wrong with your work and exactly what you need to do to fix it. And you have to say, yes, I'll try it. Now, you always have the option, and of course you always will, develop your own style as you go through the process. But you can't be stubborn. If you're going to follow option 2, you can't be stubborn. You have to listen. You have to just absorb the wisdom of the living masters, the masters who are here with us right now. That is the far more efficient option. No writer's path ever happens overnight. No one ever is an overnight success in the world of creative writing. But you can definitely move faster if you take option 2. And this is all coming from someone who I desperately wanted to follow option 1 for the longest time. I thought that option 1 was the only way to be a real serious artist. And of course now I'm following option 2 and I'm having the time of my life. And that's why I'm so heavily biased in the direction of option 2. But the thing that I really want to talk about here is twofold. One is that if you're going to take option 2, look into skills outside of writing, outside of pure creative writing, I should say. I've managed to build so many connections and attract so many opportunities by being able to market myself. I understand marketing. I can market both myself and other people. I also understand networking and making connections between people, being an impresario. I can do things other than simply sitting down and writing, which is essential if you're going to follow option 2. If you want to only write, well, again, that's option 1. It's a long road, it's a lonely road, but you only have to write. The second part of this, really to me the most important thing I can tell you in this video, is that both paths are correct. They're both right. They'll both get you there in time. The real question you need to ask yourself is this: with the one life that I get on this earth, how do I want to spend it? Am I willing to go into a form of voluntary poverty and just write for decades, seeing very little progress for most of that time, and then suddenly bumping up, suddenly having this explosion of wisdom and accumulated creative juice? Well, if that's what you want, sure, go for it. Many authors have taken that route and it's worked. Now, if you want to have more of a social life, if you want to explore different opportunities, if you want to, see the world while you're young, have chances to travel and, go to different places, meet different people, probably option 2 is your better option. And frankly, there's no shame. There's no shame in taking option 2. There's no shame in taking the shortcut. Which, by the way, it is a shortcut, and I use that word deliberately. It's a way of getting where you want to go faster. And there is no shame in taking it, as long as you're honest. As long as you're honest. That is the most important part of all of this. Be honest with yourself about how you want to spend your one life here, both as an artist and as a human. And I think you'll understand which option is right for you. And no half measures here. You can't do a little bit of option A, a little bit of option B, a little bit of option 1 and 2. You gotta just pick one. You can switch tracks if you want. I started with 1 and I switched to 2. Yes, 1 and 2. But don't try to do both at once. Don't you dare go for any half measures. I don't want to see you burn out, and I don't want to see you give up on your dream. I don't want to see you go through too much frustration. I want you to see you go through enough frustration to learn. But ultimately, you only get one shot here. Use it. Be an artist. Find your path, not anyone else's, not even mine, yours. Hopefully this video has helped spark something for you and helped to give you a little bit of clarity. I'll see you all later. Bye.